By forging new strategic partnerships, we unlock new possibilities, creating a world powered by healthy digital systems alive with opportunity, oxygen to innovation, and energy to change the world. We are Kyndryl, and we are the heart of progress.
Oh.
22. What I thought I would do is just like pick little different spots to show you what's going on here on the show floor. I've come down right to the end of Hall 3 because I just want to show what's happening down here. We have got Nokia. Nokia have got a lot of different hospitality areas. They've got demo lounges as well. And then if we swing around the other way, this is where the Fisker stand is. It's a car that's been launched here at MWC 22. It's an electric car, but what everyone is talking about is the solar panels that they have on the roof, the sliding solar panels. So that is a Fisker over there. Now, if you come with me this way, I'm going to take you to the Show Me stand. Now, there are obviously a lot of robots here. There have been a lot of robots here for many years here at MWC. But I just thought, as I walked past, I thought I'd just show you this one. And if we can get our camera through the hordes of people to see him in his paces, that is the cyber dog, the cyber robot here on the MWC 22 without the Chevy stand here for you.
Welcome to Mobile World Live. I'm joined by Dennis Hoffman of Dell Technologies. Dennis, welcome.
Thanks, Michael. Nice to be here.
Dennis, Dell Technologies has been increasing its focus in the telecoms market in recent years. What are your plans for the sector?
Well, in a word, transformation. We formed Dell Technologies 5 years ago to really help the industry transform, in fact, multiple industries. And now that's happening in telecoms.
Absolutely. So you're obviously here at Mobile World Congress 22. What announcements have you got in store for us then?
Well, a number, actually. And they're all really aimed at this telecom transformation trend. The first is around our open telecom ecosystem platform. It's really, think of it as an industry playground to enable collaboration and innovation among all the vendors that are working in the telecom space. Second is a fundamental solution platform that we're using. We call it multi-cloud foundation, and it really helps open up the network from the core to the edge all the way to the RAN. And the last thing is hardware acceleration. One of the big challenges in Open RAN today is the ability to actually perform at a price level and a performance level that's competent or comparable to the existing legacy architectures.
Now, I mean, you mentioned, obviously, you've sort of set up this division to target this transformation opportunity. So why should customers come to Dell?
Well, I think, frankly, most of the customers are already with Dell in the sense that we are a large global provider of information technology. So most organizations, most network operators globally today have some form of relationship with Dell. What we're really asking them to do is extend that relationship more into the network part of their business. And I think, the reasons are fairly simple. Large global leadership at scale, somebody they can trust to help run their business.
So again, you might also have a bit of a unique perspective on what you see lying ahead for the telecoms industry in the next 12 months and beyond.
Yeah, I think, further opening up of the architecture of the industry over time. As you can see, certainly here at Mobile World Congress, there are so many companies now that are part of this industry. And really some of the superpowers of computing historically, the Microsofts, the Intels, certainly Google, Amazon. We would hopefully put people like Dell in that crowd as well. We're all now very focused on really helping this transformation take place. And I would see that the pace will quicken over time and the opening up will continue.
Well, Dennis, thank you very much for taking the time to speak with us here today.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. Thank you.
Hello everyone. Each morning at MWC 22, we'll be taking a closer look at our show daily, the GSMA's everyday roundup of the latest news across our industry. Today, I'm pleased to welcome a panel of industry experts to discuss all the big stories. Just here, I have Jan Streck, who is the Associate Director at Counterpoint Research.
Morning.
Next up, we have Rohit Gupta, who is Head of Data Acquisition at GSMA Intelligence.
Morning.
And Kester Mann, Director of Consumer and Connectivity at CCS Insight.
Good morning.
Thanks for joining me, guys.
It's great to be here.
So I hope we've all had time to see our show daily, which we painstakingly put together last night. I guess a good place to start is on the front. And the first story we have about, it was a Huawei launch of a lot of smart office products and about their new sort of suite of software. But they were very bullish about return to the consumer sector. Kester, what do you think?
Yeah,
you got a chance?
First of all, Chris, it's fantastic to be back here in Barcelona. I think you can sense the anticipation and the excitement to be here in person again. So it's wonderful to be back. And yeah, I mean, for Huawei, this is it's a big show for them. They've got a big presence here, as you would expect. We're aware of their challenges, but you have to admire their resilience and product launches, push into the business market. Smart home makes perfect sense, I think, given the pandemic and given the changing way that we work and we go about our business. So yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing a lot more from Huawei at this event. And yeah, they've had a very, very good start with some new products. So yeah, good for them.
So what do you think about smart home? Is that a good thing to get into now? Is it a bit late, do you think? Or Ridik, what do you think?
Yeah, I think obviously when it comes to enterprise or digitization solutions, we see a lot more traction in automotive or healthcare per se. So a smart home can be a good direction to actually land into the consumer space, whereas healthcare is more on the enterprise side. And as Huawei is trying to get back onto its foot, or let's say business, after whatever happened in last few years, so I think this can be a good direction for them on the consumer side. Yeah.
Yeah, what do you think?
If I could add, I mean, I think it's a perfect time to get into smart home. The pandemic, has resulted in people working from home more, setting up home offices, just generally doing more stuff on various devices at home. So having that seamless connectivity across all of that is tapping into a segment that's very rapidly growing right now. So it makes perfect sense. I just think there is whether they have that opportunity to get back into the consumer mind in Western Europe. I'm not so sure. There is that telling lack of a smartphone launch in Europe. It's all, for a mobile show, it's mostly non-mobile products, but enterprise is certainly an opportunity for them.
And that seems what they're going for. I mean, it was a very impressive launch, I have to say.
Yeah.
I was quite impressed, despite the lack, obviously, of a mobile. So the other big story on the front page, we have the GSMA report on the mobile economy. Would you like to take us through that?
Yes, so GSMA Intelligence has unveiled their Mobile Economy 2022 report today. It has got a lot of fantastic statistics, but a couple of them to call out. Obviously, as you can see on the headline, 600 billion of capex investment into mobile networks by 2025, out of which 85% will be driven by 5G. It just does not highlight the interesting statistic, but it also highlights the usage gap, the current usage gap that we need to focus more on. 41% of the global population is still facing the usage gap. So I think that's an important and interesting statistic that mobile operators need to consider and focus on. And another very interesting statistic coming out from the report is 5G is expected to cross 1 billion connection by the end of 2022. So yes, these are the few ones I'm calling out, but there's a lot more. So go get your hands on the report and read.
I mean, the 5G number is obviously a big number. Is that in line with what you're originally anticipating?
Yes, so yes, kind of. It's pretty much aligned. And what our analysis and research shows is that 5G has picked up faster than any other previous generation of technology in terms of connection and subscriber count. So yes, it is pretty much aligned, yeah.
And obviously 5G is going to be a huge theme of the show. Jan, is it 5G, how do you view take-up at the moment, especially in kind of developed markets?
If I could just quickly jump in, actually, just
Sure.
what Radhika was saying about the capex. Well, one thing I think is interesting about that is the question of who should pay for that. So obviously $600 billion is a huge bill for operators. They've already put in a huge amount of money over the last decades, and they're now another 600 billion by 2025. And a lot of the operators are wondering, well, hold on, why should we be footing all the bill for that? And it was towards the end of last year, there were 14 European operators signed a note saying big tech should help out a bit here, because the vast majority of traffic over the networks, the vast majority of usage and content being downloaded is Netflix, Facebook, all of that. So operators feel, well, maybe we shouldn't have the entire burden of that. Maybe there should be a bit of help with that.
Yeah, that's a topic that has big traction in terms of discussion a lot in the last year.
Yeah.
So let's see where it goes, and let's see if we get any progress or updates on this at MWC.
But I mean, who's going to have to push that though? Because I'm assuming the likes of the streaming companies aren't going to say, right, we'll help you out there. I mean,
yeah.
I think it's a brave wish from the operators.
They're
but
trying,
I can't see that happening.
No, I know they're trying.
But the capex figure is really interesting, because obviously today is the operator keynote session, so we're going to be hearing from the CEOs of Telefonica and Vodafone, and I think we're going to hear some messages from them around return on investment. I mean, 600 billion is a huge number, and of course this conversation happens at a time when the industry is really pushing for consolidation, and Spain and the UK and Italy have been markets where we've had these discussions about whether we should move down to 3 operators. So I think we're going to be hearing a lot more about that this morning in some of the discussions.
Yeah, very interesting. So moving on, in similar lines, 5G spending. Orange have announced their 5G standalone contracts. Kester, were you surprised by that?
I wasn't really. They've no surprise at all. They're picking the Nokia and Ericsson, their kind of core suppliers. Yeah, I think when operators are making their decision on 5G standalone suppliers, it's no surprise to see an evolution of their existing picks. What's interesting, though, of course, is Orange is also a proponent of Open RAN. I think Open RAN is going to be a big theme at this year's event. I think we're going to be hearing an awful lot of it. So I think, in time, it'll be very, very interesting to watch how operators like Orange and also Telefonica and Vodafone, which are also very, very keen on the Open RAN opportunity, how they perhaps start to diversify their vendor picks. But yeah, as you say, Chris, absolutely no surprises on this one from Orange.
Still worthy of a place on page 3.
Yeah.
Do you see other operators going with the usual suspects?
Yes, I would very much believe so, because the standalone data set that we maintain at GSM Intelligence also shows that, we are now seeing momentum and progress on the standalone, either deployments or partnerships. A lot of operators are getting into a multi-vendor partnership. So this may actually become the new norm when it comes to, standalone networks, and pretty much on the lines of Open RAN, where operators are trying to get a bigger control in their hands and have multi-vendor approach and, get more flexibility around that. So yes, I believe other operators can go on the same lines. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, not much more to add. I mean, it's the same. European operators have been quite clear in the way they want to go. It's Ericsson or Nokia for reasons, for obvious reasons, and that's the way kind of it's going to go. They either stick with the vendors they already have, or diversify with Open RAN providers. So,
yeah. So when it comes to Open RAN, when do you think we're going to see some big deployments? Do you think any of the operators are going to say, right, do you know what, we're just going to go all in on this?
It wouldn't surprise me. There's already been some major trials and major, even commercial kind of Open RAN, slightly smaller scale. But I think this year certainly, I think we should see some pretty big announcements around that.
I think in my view, this is a little bit of controversial topic. There are people who are actually supporting Open RAN in a big way, and then there is another group of people. And as Jan already noted, number of operators are involving them in trials and deployments and partnerships per se, but the actual deployments are very, very limited at this stage. The number is, very, very less per our data set. And it continues to be a topic of discussion as to when the deployments will actually scale up, because there are a number of reasons driving the delay in deployment. Obviously, seeing the actual benefits being one of them. There are a number of studies that advocate or propagate cost savings beyond the benefits of more control in operator hands and flexibility. But a lot of operators are still apprehensive because they want to see the actual benefits materializing. And it's also a function of Open RAN is not something I'll just go and deploy. I have to make sense of my old networks first.
A lot of discussion about it. Operators are loving to talk about Open RAN, but what have we seen so far? No commercial deployments really of note, at least from the established players. Dish and Rakuten aside, which are the real trailblazers of that, and I'm sure we'll be hearing plenty from them at the show. But yeah, I agree. I think there's plenty of discussions about Open RAN to be had about does it really help in terms of saving costs? Is the complexity really worth the issue? And now we're well through 5G. In a way, we've heard already the report about 150, 200 launches and subscribers. Is the ship sailing a little bit on 5G? Is it more of a 6G thing? So yeah, it's going to be all debated and discussed at the event, absolutely. But I think that there's operators are talking a lot, but I think let's see when push comes to shove if they're really going to go for it. And I'm on the fence a little bit on that one, I think.
Do you think you'll see anything at the show that'll persuade you otherwise?
We'll see. I'm really interested to see what Rakuten say. I mean, Rakuten have got a presence here. They've got an event for analysts tomorrow. They're trying to push their Rakuten Symphony product, which is their kind of international offering of Open RAN and some of the expertise that goes around that. So we may see some announcements there as they perhaps help operators to start on that Open RAN journey. So I'm looking forward to hearing about it.
Yeah.
And so obviously it's the first day of the event. What are you guys looking forward to the most, and what do you think is going to surprise you the most? Yeah, do you want to take the first?
Being here in physical form.
Is that the thing that surprises you the most, or the thing you're looking forward to?
Yeah, good point. Both actually. Yeah. The fact that we're here, and for me, it's been 3 years. 2019 was last time I was here, and it feels like yesterday. But it would be great to actually physically see people, meet people, and then actually play with some products in real life, actually, and some of the product launches that are here, actually be able to hold them and have a go with them. That's what I'm really looking forward to.
So I suppose on the product launches, even though there aren't the huge smartphones maybe we had a few years ago, various reasons, obviously there's chip shortages, there aren't as many smartphones coming out. I guess there's lots of products you haven't seen, right? In real
Not
life.
in the flesh, no, as it were. So, I mean, I'm particularly looking forward to the Realme GT2, the Honor Magic 4, the Oppo Find X5. Particularly looking forward to I know that launched last week, but I'm particularly looking forward to playing with those.
Great. So we've got very little time left. So quick thought from both of you on what you're most looking forward to at the show.
Okay, so first and foremost, as Jan also noted, I think I'm coming back to Barcelona after 2019, so very excited. I think I'm very excited by the overall theme of connectivity unleashed, because coming to talk about 5G and 5G era, you can only harness the true power of 5G when it comes in confluence with AI, big data, edge, cloud, everything. And the theme covers it very well. So I'm actually looking forward to all the sessions and product releases and launches of that. And what has surprised me is the number of people that I have seen, coming to MWC. I mean, obviously we knew that it will be a scaled up version of last year.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. And
Yeah, two things I've mentioned. I know we're short on time. I think private networks is going to be really big. So I'm really looking forward. We've heard about 5G, how 5G can help encourage that, and I'm looking forward to seeing some examples. And then we haven't even talked about the metaverse, which I think is going to be a big hot topic.
I thought I'd leave that for tomorrow's show. And I'm not doing that one, so I'm quite happy about that. Well, thanks everyone for your great insights. And now it's over to Sasha with the news.
at Barcelona's international economic hub. 1 million square meters for the city's economy. More than 60,000 new jobs. More than 8,000 homes. More economic activity, more employment, more housing, more public facilities, more green spaces, more opportunities, more community, more Barcelona. 22 at Barcelona City Council.
What is all this about? Shall we take a look?
Good.
I'm so excited!
Open your eyes. Pay attention, please. We have enough with 10 reasons to convince you. 10 reasons to bring you to Barcelona. The countdown begins. 10. Barcelona is unique. A modern and inclusive city. A diverse and dynamic economy. A metropolitan region open to the Mediterranean. 9. A city with a project. The Barcelona Green Deal. An ambitious agenda that sets new social, economic and urban horizons. 8. A European gateway to the world. with an international airport, a port, a trade fair, and a free trade and logistical activities platform within a 5 kilometers radius. 7. A competitive and diversified economic engine, a region at the forefront of the digital revolution. 6. A magnet for startups and scale-ups, host of outstanding world events, a technological capital that acts as a bridge between startups and large corporations. 5. A pole that creates and attracts talent, with a powerful network of public universities, research centers, and the best business schools in Europe. 4. A city that inspires, that facilitates the best conditions for creative minds in the creative industries, in culture, in technology, in sport, and in business. 3. A solid and mature research ecosystem, consolidated as one of the scientific capitals of Europe. 2. A mixed and compact urban model, a vibrant, sustainable and cohesive city with quality public spaces. 1. A city for a lifetime project, the place to combine professional and personal growth every day under the Mediterranean sun. And now, yes, welcome to the city of your life, a city with a global ambition and a human scale. Let us be your best ally in Barcelona.
Delighted to be joined on Mobile World Live today by Mr. Xiaoming, who is the president of ZTE's overseas business. Mr. Xiaoming, it's great to see you again.
Hi, Mr. Justin. Good to see you again.
Thanks for joining us. ZTE had a very successful 2021, Mr. Xiaoming. What are you planning to do to make sure that 2022 continues to be a success for your company?
Well, indeed, we enjoyed a very successful year of 2021. As of 2022, it marks for us the beginning of ZTE's strategic expansion phase. ZTE will continue to adhere to the overall strategy of consolidating and expanding new innovations, maintaining our advantages in 5G, wired access, core network, and other areas, and actively supporting the digital transformation process of regional markets. We continue to bring value to customers. In addition, ZTE is opening up new markets, providing digital service capabilities to telco and enterprises to realize further rapid expansion. Finally, realize a rapid growth for the second curve. The area of strategic service expansion has started for ZTE.
Let's talk about some of the hot topics in the industry, Mr. Xiaoming. Of course, one of the most important issues today is sustainability. How is ZTE implementing the UN's SDG initiatives? I'd also be keen to find out what steps ZTE is taking to drive innovation in the production of green equipment as well.
Wow, that's a great question. As a driver of the digital and green economy, ZTE is a member of United Nations Global Compact and Global E-Sustainability Initiative, and has released the company's Sustainable Development Report for 13 consecutive years, and has fulfilled its social responsibilities, promotes the development of digital economy, helped science and technologies to fight against the pandemic, and cultivated green governance deeply. We actively used our professional solutions to help customers to solve the collection and usage gaps in remote areas, same as the power of science and technology to promote the improvement of regional economy, and are actively participating in green and low carbon to combat the climate change. ZTE's vision focus on 3 areas. First, the green ICT products, like a Digi in Malaysia, using our base station that reduced power consumption by 6 million kilowatt hour per year. The second, the green industry enabler. In China, the aluminium Yunnan Shenhe Group kilowatt hour per year. And last but not least, our own green companies. Operation strategy.
And alongside these initiatives, Mr. Xiaoming, of course, we're also seeing the widespread commercialization of 5G technology. But many research organizations, many vendors, well, they're already talking about what comes next. And some of those buzzwords are 5G advanced and, of course, 6G. What is your outlook on these particular technologies? How is ZTE contributing to research of the next technological evolution?
Yeah, 6G is really a hot topic. More and more people are wondering how 6G will affect our life. ZTE has started 6G research from back to 2018, focusing on the main 6G technological direction. The network architecture, the spectrum, the air interface, the artificial intelligence, or the meta cell SPA, same as cutting edge materials and components. As a result, innovations like the intelligent meta surface RIS technologies launched by ZTE, which is also demonstrated in this MWC, enables seamless coverage with very low cost, no power consumption, and fast installation. This will help to narrow the digital gap and collect everything everywhere.
Mr. Xiaoming, it's been great to get an update on ZTE's developments. We wish you a very successful MWC. Good to see you again.
Thank you, Justin. Good to see you again.
Visit AWS Village in the upper walkway of the Fira South entrance. Interact with AWS experts, explore demos, and discover partner solutions. See you there.
We are Kyndryl. We design, build, manage, and modernize the mission-critical technology systems that the world depends on every day. Working with our customers, we imagine things differently. By forging new strategic partnerships, we unlock new possibilities, creating a world powered by healthy digital systems alive with opportunity, oxygen to innovation, and energy to change the world. We are Kyndryl, and we are the heart of progress.
Barcelona welcomes talent. Barcelona International Welcome Desk is a personalized service for international talent and their families who come to Barcelona to invest study, research, work, or develop highly innovative and job-creating projects with a positive socio-economic impact on the local area. Barcelona International Welcome Desk offers information and personalized advice on practical issues for living in the Barcelona area, such as permits, documentation, pets, housing, education, taxation, and mobility. It can also handle some of the bureaucratic procedures that are required when moving to Barcelona to start working there or set up a business. Book an appointment at barcelona.cat/welcome desk to be assisted either in person at the Media TIC building or online. Welcome, talent.
Oh.
Joining me at MWC Barcelona is Mr. Zong Hong, who is the Chief Security Officer for ZTE. Mr. Zong Hong, good to see you.
Nice to see you, Justin.
Thank you for joining us. Now, of course, we live in an era where digital life and society, well, they rely more and more on reliable connectivity. From your point of view as Chief Security Officer of ZTE, what type of network do we need now and in the future?
Nowadays, connectivity should be resilient, and the telecom service should be strong, stable, and secure. ZTE is helping our customers to expand the digital future. Meanwhile, we are implementing top-down and risk-based cybersecurity governance throughout the product lifecycle.
And ZTE, of course, is one of the leading global companies providing telecom equipment and technology. Cybersecurity assurance of telecommunications products, well, that's gathering increased attention, especially over the last few years, Mr. Zonghong. In your opinion, what are the biggest concerns and challenges for cybersecurity in telecoms today?
I would say the core concept include third-party component management, security certification, and ecosystem cooperation. First, the system is more complex than before. A network element may contain thousands of components, including open source components. So, managed third-party components is a common pursuit for every business using IT systems. Second, certifications, which includes evaluation on product features development process. The certification schemes are developed from industry standards and best practice. They are unified and easy for suppliers and operators to follow. Last, ecosystem cooperation. Different roles in industry, like regulators, centers, organizations, industry associations, operators, and suppliers, should take joint efforts to enhance cybersecurity in open and transparent ways. ZTE, as a supplier, provides high performance and secure equipment. Our practice is to implement security by design and by default in the product lifecycle, covering requirement, design, coding, testing, delivery, and the incident response. So, with the right process, correct implementation, and the trustworthy verification by all the stakeholders in the ecosystem, together, we can establish a secure digital infrastructure.
And speaking of assessment and certification, Mr. Zonghong, what steps is ZTE taking to ensure that your products are endorsed by third parties and standard bodies?
I believe security maturity is verifiable. External assessment and the certifications are transparent approach to verify security. Now, the industry has some good examples of successful schemes, such as GSMA Nexus, CC, ISO 27000 series, and the BSIM, that is built security in material model. ZTE has made very positive progress in such activities in recent years. Our 5G product lines passed the GSMA Nexus, both the process audit and the equipment evaluation. Our 5G RAN solution has been certified with CC Assurance Level 3+, which is the first Level 3 certificate in the industry for whole system solution. Also, our 5G RAN, core network, and the very hot products completed the BSIM assessment with a performance leading the industry. ZTE keeps its commitment to customers, that is to deliver secure and trustworthy products and service. And we will also keep cooperating with partners to advance cybersecurity assurance for a more secure digital world.
Well, thank you for the insight into the biggest cybersecurity concerns that's facing the telecoms industry today, and of course, how ZTE is tackling those issues. Mr. Zonghong, thanks for joining us.
Hi, thank you.
Hello, I'm Sasha Twining. You're watching Mobile World Live. It is lovely to have you here in Barcelona. Now, as you may know, 4 years from now is MWC 22's, how shall I put this? Startup sister. A couple of years ago, we were going for cousin. I think now we're going for sister, but it's packed with fresh talent and mind-blowing ideas. Basically, what it does is offer a tantalizing glimpse of the future 4 years from now. And it's been part of Mobile World Congress for at least the last 8 years. And like last year, 4 years from now is right here in the Fira with us. It's brilliant to be so close to all the startup action. So every day we're going to be catching up with Dave McClelland to find out what is happening there and what they're actually discussing. It's great to have you here. Welcome.
It's great to be here as your startup sister. I think I'll take that.
But do you remember the discussions that we had? It's like, what is it? Is it a sister? Is it, you know, sort of a feisty little here I am, or,
Well,
you know?
I think it is now firmly part of the core family. And as you said in the intro there, this is the second time that 4 years from now has been embedded in the main MWC venue. Obviously, June, July last year, it was a smaller event, but this year, kind of back up to full 5-6 gears, and 4 years from now is here in full strength. And you wander over into the hall just behind us here in this studio. It's huge. Even I was surprised, and I'm a 4 years from now veteran now of all 8 editions.
Yeah. Should we have a look? Let's take a look, because we've put our 4G camera there so you can see that. So that's the entrance to 4 years from now. There she goes. She moved out the way for us as if on cue. There you go. So that's what it looks like as you walk into the hall. Let's see if we can get a little bit closer as we walk down. Oh, mind that chap there. There we go.
And
so
it keeps on going and going and going. It's huge. It really, really is.
Now, the stands that you can see, all those sort of little boxes, I recognise those from last year, because I remember last year when I first walked in, it was dotted with all these little booths, and literally the startups are there. So you'll have like the inventor, the manufacturer, the producer, whoever it is, standing there ready to talk to people. You literally get right up close and personal with them.
There are more than 500 of those startups here in those little booths this year. Excuse me. I think wearing the masks, you know, you get a little bit of fluff from the mask. It's gone there.
Let's grab
if I
some
could grab
water.
a little bit of water, that would be fantastic. But there are more than 500 startups there this year, and they're from all over the world. Even some regions where, you know, we might not have expected to see too many people, particularly a strong representation from China, from Japan, and so on. But not only about the startups there are several stages, and I think what 4 years from now does so incredibly well is curate the content, obviously with an event with so much breadth of different technologies, different areas of technology as well. It makes sense to try and bring them into different programs. So this year we've got a really strong healthcare program. Also looking at frontier technologies. So some of those technologies that we think are maybe further than 4 years from now. We're talking quantum technologies, next generation materials. Obviously, artificial intelligence has been around for a little while as well. But we've got a lot of store on those on the show floor, but also on the stages. Now, I'm going to be spending a lot of my time on those stages.
You are. Right, let's grab you some water. And what I'll do is, let's take us back to 4 years from now. Let's go and have a look and see what's going on there. David's got his water. Oh, no, we can't actually take you right back there. You have a good old swig of water. Is that better?
Oh, that's so much better.
You mentioned the masks, because we're not wearing masks here on this stand, because we have special dispensation when we're broadcasting here. But you will see us wearing our masks whenever we are walking about. And of course, all the delegates are wearing all the special masks as well. So big topics for 4 years from now. You know, I was saying right at the beginning, it's going to be connectivity.
Yes.
Security, very much so. And obviously, you know, in recent weeks, that's bumped up everybody's list as well.
Certainly has, yes.
Yeah, resilience as well as innovation. But, you know, they're the core areas. But those conversations will really be happening this year.
Oh, I think so. And certainly on the Banco Sabadell stage there, we kick off at 10 o'clock this morning with our opening address. And we're looking at, I guess, the state of the nation in terms of the world, in terms of how startups are supporting this changing world. And then we start to look at things like cybersecurity, but also some other areas as well. You know, we've been getting quite excited and hot under the collar about things like the metaverse over the last fewer than that really, since Mark Zuckerberg's big announcement back in autumn last year.
Are you able to tell us what it is? I mean, have you got a really snazzy little explanation of what the metaverse actually is?
Okay, so
when someone says to you, hey, David, you know this metaverse, I keep hearing lots about it. What is it? What do you say?
It is a bucket, and it's a bucket for a lot of these next generation technologies that we've been trying to do something with for a few years and haven't really worked out what to do with them.
Right.
So it is the same as the internet is this space that we tend to access through our devices and whatever, actually being more immersed, having more of a presence with a capital 3 is what metaverse people talk about, being having this sense of presence in a virtual space and being able to interact with people in different ways to how we interact already, I think is really a key part of what that metaverse is. And we've already taken those first steps, particularly when you look at how we've all been engaging virtually over the last couple of years.
Yeah.
That's exciting, but also another one of these big terms, Web3. You know, we've been through the original internet and the first generation World Wide Web, then Web 2.0 15, 20 years ago. And now, again, Web3 is this area where blockchain technologies, NFTs, DAOs all mixed together. And we'll be talking about that on the stage today, particularly NFTs, these non-fungible tokens, which 6-12 months ago, nobody really
had a clue.
knew about.
It was like, what is an NFT? Is that, well, certainly in the UK, it was like, is that like an LFT, a lateral flow test? Is it anything to do with that? No, entirely different. And that is going to be something that is going to be really top of people's list. How to monetize, because, you know, how to monetize everything as we move forward.
If indeed,
so crucial.
If indeed it is about monetization at the end of the day. And I think that's one of the areas where the people visiting 4 years from now get so much value, because the first few years, or at least the first few cycles of a new technology, seem to be so much about defining what it is rather than what we're going to do with it. And that's part of the conversation. And we got somebody on stage at lunchtime today talking about how do we take a more pragmatic approach to NFTs and similar technologies, start being able to get some real value from them, rather than just, you know, waving our hands in the air and saying it's all about digital art or it's all about, you know, copyright. What can we do to start squeezing some real value that will be of value to so many people here at the main MWC event?
I remember last year when I walked around 4 years from now, and I can't wait to get back and have another look. You get really energized, because the inventors, the people behind the products are there, and they're ready to talk, and they're ready to do deals as well.
Oh, yes. So that's another huge part of what 4 years from now about. It's not just a show floor with lots of startups peddling their wares. It is about serious business, about investment. And there are dozens and dozens of investors from all over the world who are there. 75% of the startups who are present at 4 years from now are looking to raise some sort of capital. There are the Investors Club is a really important part of what 4 years from now provides to the ecosystem, providing those networking opportunities so that startups and investors and people who can support them, maybe not just financially, so that really we can start to see these technologies brew and turn into something that may or may not feature elsewhere in the MWC family in a few years' time.
So build that infrastructure around them. Just finally, you mentioned 10 o'clock. Is that the time to be there when it starts today?
10 o'clock, the Banco Sabadell stage is when it all kicks off. We've a great opening hour and 15 or so. We'll have Yossi and Pere Duran talking about, like I say, the state of the nation, where we are right now, how the world has changed, and how technology and startups can start to support the world as we move into whatever the next normal looks like.
Don't forget your water.
Thank you.
You're going to make your way there now.
I am.
And we'll see you back here tomorrow for more chat.
I look forward to it.
I look forward to it too. David McClellan, thank you very much for joining us. Thank you. Now, coming up next here on Mobile World Live, it is our Show Daily panel. Yep, the Show Daily is back, hosted by Mobile World Live reporter Chris Donkin. It's here in a moment.
Where will you gain unparalleled access to the latest mobile industry data, best practices, and decision makers? Hello, we're the GSMA. We're a member-led organisation supporting the global mobile industry to unlock the full power of connectivity so that people, industry, and society thrive. Join as a member and build relationships within the mobile industry. Engineer the future of mobile technology. Participate in industry-leading events. Unlock key intelligence and collaborate with trusted experts. Participate in global decision-making. For over 30 years, GSMA working groups have driven the evolution of the mobile industry and continue to do so with each new generation of technology and service through 8 permanent working groups, 105 task forces and subgroups, benefiting your organization, transforming the mobile industry. So whatever your business priority and whatever your industry, make the connections that count, including over 15,000 member contacts. And accelerate positive change for your business and the industry through the most influential connectivity community. As of 2021, 100 million lives have been impacted globally through our Mobile for Development work. We believe this is just the start. Become a GSMA member. Participate in working groups. Make a difference in your business, industry, and society.
What is all this about? Shall we take a look?
Good.
I'm so excited!
The GSMA, in cooperation with 3GPP, has created the Network Equipment Security Assurance Scheme to enhance security levels across the mobile industry. By participating in this scheme, network equipment vendors can demonstrate their ability to meet rigorous security requirements that are globally applicable. With NASAS, equipment vendors' ability to build secure products is assessed and products are security evaluated. Both in combination deliver NASAS's security assurance. Security assessments of product development and lifecycle processes are conducted by world-class security auditing companies, ensuring the highest possible standards. Evaluations of network equipment products are conducted by accredited security test laboratories, making the security posture of network equipment transparent to equipment vendors' customers. The requirements are unified and reflect the security needs of governments, regulators, and network operators, and can streamline the procurement process by reducing the need to retest the security of common network elements. By highlighting the ability of network equipment vendors to achieve and maintain security levels, undertaking security assessments, and performing equipment testing of network equipment products, the GSMA is fostering a security by design culture across the industry, driving security gains and increasing transparency for customers. To find out more, please visit gsma.com/NESAS.
Delighted to be joined today by Jeffrey Boslam, who is Partner Sales Director
at WebEx EMEA. Hi, Jeffrey.
G'day, how are you?
Great. So my first question, WebEx has been in the news a lot recently with acquisitions, deals, and the launch of new data centers. Can you tell me what is the overarching strategy for WebEx?
Yeah, certainly. If you think of just how much has changed, in the way we work and the way we interact over those last couple of years, and WebEx has been at the forefront of that. And as we start to talk about things like hybrid work and what does that mean, and this new digitization, what does that mean for us moving forward? WebEx is there to help us connect, to keep our customers, our governments, communicating. And we saw this huge growth in demand. It wasn't 2 or 3x, it was 4 and 5x, and it wasn't in months and years. It was in days and weeks, and WebEx being at the heart of it. And so over that time, we've made thousands of innovations, some of that organic and some of that inorganic, so some through acquisitions like the IMI we have here as WebEx Connect now, and then some we've developed like WebEx Go, and that's to ensure that as we move into the next phase of hybrid work. So if you think of what we've seen to date, it's really been work from home, right? We've all raced home, and now it's about what does it look like in the future. And WebEx is there to power that, to be an inclusive way that we all connect, not just now, but what does it look like in 2 or 3 years' time?
Makes sense. And you mentioned WebEx Go there. Could you tell us a bit more about WebEx Go?
Well, firstly, everyone has a mobile device. Whether it's personally provided or corporately provided, we have a mobile device, and we've powered that with the WebEx app. What we're doing with WebEx Go is taking the next level of integration of that device to the network level, and simplifying it right down that your corporate identity, so your corporate number, will appear on your mobile device at a network layer. So you don't have to, as a user, change your behavior. You can just use the same native dialer. And what the company gets is the ability for it to be so simple for them to use their corporate identity. They can control the way they interact with their customers, because you're now having them work from home or work on the road, and that identity they're using is the corporate identity, not their personal or mobile phone. So really tightly integrating the mobile phone at a network layer. That doesn't inhibit the application. You can certainly scale up into the rich collaboration that we've had for years, but bringing that to the next level of integration for end user simplicity and business benefit of controlling that identity.
And the IMI acquisition, it's been showcased here at MWC, and it's creating quite a buzz. Could you tell us a bit about that one?
Super exciting. So IMI acquisition here is WebEx Connect. If we think of the journey that we've been on over the last couple of years, we've all become very comfortable engaging more digitally. Whether that be I get a text message to say my delivery's on the way, or I'm happy to do online transactions, or it could be the fact that I want to get support in WhatsApp or some form of messaging. And it's not just the tech-savvy people here at Mobile World Congress that do this. It's our mums and dads, it's our aunties and uncles. Everyone has become much more comfortable in interacting digitally, and not only more comfortable, wanting it as a preferred mechanism. And so IMI allows every one of those digital interactions to matter. So we work with our customers and our service providers to provide this rich interaction, so that when the world digitizes, when we have more of our engagement this way, WebEx Connect will be at the heart of that transaction.
And coming to this service provider, what are the key messages you want to relay to them in terms of how you support service providers?
So it's very, very important, service providers to WebEx, to Cisco. We believe that it's their DNA coupled with our DNA jointly together that makes the solution as rich and as compelling as it is. Use WebEx Connect. There's other CPaaS platforms out there that might make the service provider look a bit like a aggregator. We don't believe in that. We believe in taking their assets, whether it's as simple as their voice and video, or extending into the network, into their management, into their operations, and bringing that together with the WebEx Cloud. And that creates a really compelling and differentiated user experience for the service provider, for us at Cisco WebEx, and for the customer.
Very interesting developments at WebEx. Thanks for your time.
No worries. Thank you.
Visit AWS Village in the upper walkway of the Fira South entrance, interact with AWS experts, explore demos, and discover partner solutions. See you there.
We are Kyndryl. We design, build, manage, and modernize the mission-critical technology systems that the world depends on every day. Working with our customers, we imagine things differently. By forging new strategic partnerships, we unlock new possibilities, creating a world powered by healthy digital systems alive with opportunity, oxygen to innovation, and energy to change the world. We are Kyndryl, and we are the heart of progress.
Barcelona welcomes talent. Barcelona International Welcome Desk is a personalized service for international talent and their families who come to Barcelona to invest, study, research, work, or develop highly innovative and job-creating projects with a positive socioeconomic impact on the local area. Barcelona International Welcome Desk offers information and personalized advice on practical issues for living in the Barcelona area, such as permits, documentation, pets, housing, education, taxation, and mobility. It can also handle some of the bureaucratic procedures that are required when moving to Barcelona to start working there or set up a business. Book an appointment at barcelona.cat/welcome desk to be assisted either in person at the Media TIC building or online. Welcome, talent.
Oh.
I'm here with Kyndryl Global Practice Leader for Network and Edge, Paul Saville. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
How have traditional networks made it difficult for businesses to react to changing business dynamics and take full advantage of multi-cloud and edge?
Well, the problem with legacy type networks is just that they're inflexible. You know, they've been built with architectures that involve hardware that's separated from the software. You know, in these days, you'd have to deploy a router, a physical device on a customer premise. You had physical circuits like layer 1 and layer 2 that were connecting everything together, made it very hard for networks to be flexible and to be able to move around. With SDN technology, that changes things, and a lot of the over-the-top type technology is enabling us to reconfigure networks on the fly and make them much more easier to use.
What's the significance of edge when it comes to Industry 4.0 and digital transformation?
Well, the advent of edge compute is really enabling enterprises to take advantage of another type of architectural construct that gives them more optionality in terms of building out different types of performance criteria and operational cost structures. It's kind of like establishing a third landing spot that gives them an additional alternative for how they can configure their networks together and tie it together with compute and distributed applications.
So you've recently partnered with Nokia. Could you tell us a bit more about that as companies are looking at industrial 5G and private networks?
Yes, our new partnership with Nokia is very exciting because basically together what we've done is we've created an ability to deploy at a global level private 5G networks for enterprises. You know, this private 5G technology is really exciting, and the potential that it has for enterprise customers to use it and configure it in different ways is really amazing, but it's hard for them to deploy. When you think about going and having to acquire the spectrum, do the radio design, do the deployment on site, connect it up to local area networks and wide area networks, that's a pretty big job for many enterprise IT departments to handle. And so Kyndryl and Nokia together have put together a turnkey solution for enterprises to solve that.
So now Kyndryl's separate from IBM. What's changed?
Well, what's changed is that Kyndryl has the freedom to do a lot more things that they want to do. You know, we have the ability to now go out and partner with different companies in a way that we've never been able to. You may have seen that we have recently announced multiple new alliance relationships with all of the hyperscalers, with a number of companies that we've been wanting to work with for a long time that really enable us to introduce technology that allows us to continuously scan the technology landscape for our customers and recommend the best technology solutions for them.
That's great. Thanks for your insights.
Thank you.
If you wander right the way down to the end of Hall 3, you will find Fisker Inc. And it is, I'm very pleased to say, the launch of a new car here at MWC 22. We've got the CEO and chairman of Fisker Inc. with me, Henrik. Thanks for joining us. Thank you for letting us look at your car. Tell me about it.
Absolutely. Well, we're here at the conference because it's all about connectivity and technology, and we are more of a tech sustainable company. We're doing the European launch of the electric Fisker Ocean, which starts at 41,600 euros. So it's not another supercar. It's actually a car you can afford, and it's fully connected, as you would expect. With over-the-air updates, we're going to own flexible app, which is fully connected with the car, and actually us as a company. So we don't have any middlemen dealers. We sell direct to the customers.
So where do you think you sit in the market? How would you describe yourself? First of all, are you a tech company or a car company?
Well, I would say we're a tech company,
Okay.
a sustainable tech company. And, you know, we are a premium car company, but our first vehicle still starts at a reasonable price. So I think we're more in that premium EV segment. And, you know, I always say to people, if you could pick 5 cars over 100,000 euro that are really cool electric cars, but try and pick a really cool electric car under 45,000 euro. That's more difficult. So that's the market segment we wanted to go into.
So you're not going after Tesla?
Well, I think later we will have some more luxury vehicles, but at this point we are more thinking to come into this sort of mid-market segment with a really cool looking SUV.
But it is a sector that everyone's trying to go after at the moment. So what do you think that you've got that is going to make your car stand out?
So we have the longest range of any SUV or crossover in the world in our price range. So up to 630 kilometers, or in England is 390 miles. And we have also a couple of features that nobody else have. We have California mode where all the windows go down. And we have a roof with solar that can give you over 3,000 kilometers a year.
Okay, let's talk about the solar roof, okay? Because that's one that everyone sort of raised an eyebrow about. If I just sort of stand back, we can sort of take a look as well. I don't know whether you can sort of get up high so you can see the solar panel on the top of the roof. There we go. Now that slides down, doesn't it?
There's actually 2 solar panels. Obviously, if you drive open, you have one of them. But normally when it's closed, there's both of them. And again, actually, we had to invent a special converter to actually get the solar energy into the high voltage battery and get it to charge fast. So over 3,000 kilometers a year of value is pretty good. Obviously, you have to live in a place where you get the sun.
I was going to say, that's not going to work for somewhere like the UK, is it? Or Northern Europe. That's just not going to be the case. I mean, is it still worth it?
So let me tell you what you have for the UK. I know there was just a big storm where you lost power. So one of the other cool things about the Fisker Ocean is you can actually power your home up to 7 days with this full battery. So it's a bidirectional charging system that we have developed. And you can also, if you have a friend that drives a Fisker that's low on battery capacity, you can drive out and charge your friend's car with our vehicle as well.
Talk to me about infrastructure, charging infrastructure. That is always right front and center of anyone when they want to buy an electric car.
Yeah, I think there's a lot about education. So in the meantime, there is a lot of independent charging groups that put up charging stations. And of course, right now, we still have 90% of people charging at home. But we have just made an investment into Allego, which is a big, one of Europe's largest charging infrastructure groups. And they are planning to expand dramatically their ultra chargers, the super fast chargers. And in the end of the day, we want plug and charge where you just come, the car gets recognized, fully connected. You don't have to think about it, you just charge, pay, and that's it.
Henrik, we've got 15 seconds left.
All right.
Hop yourself in the car, and you
it.
literally have 15 seconds to show us
Take a look
your
at this
favorite
cool
feature.
screen here. So we got a fully rotating screen, so you can watch a movie and chill out while you are charging the car. So and when you drive, you go like this, and when you watch a movie, you go like that. So, and this is, by the way, a 17.1-inch screen, one of the largest in the industry, and it's super high. You can see how well it's actually showing here. It's very, very high resolution.
That is obviously your favorite feature,
It's
Henrik.
one of my favorite features in the car. I really love it.
All right, Henrik, it's been lovely to meet you and to have a look around the car. Thank you very much for joining us.
Absolutely.
Where will you gain unparalleled access to the latest mobile industry data, best practices, and decision makers? Hello, we're the GSMA. We're a member-led organization supporting the global mobile industry to unlock the full power of connectivity so that people, industry, and society thrive. Join as a member and build relationships within the mobile industry. Engineer the future of mobile technology. Participate in industry-leading events. Unlock key intelligence. and collaborate with trusted experts. Participate in global decision-making. For over 30 years, GSMA working groups have driven the evolution of the mobile industry and continue to do so with each new generation of technology and service through 8 permanent working groups, 105 task forces and subgroups, benefiting your organization, transforming the mobile industry. So whatever your business priority and whatever your industry, make the connections that count, including over 15,000 member contacts, and accelerate positive change for your business and the industry through the most influential connectivity community. As of 2021, 100 million lives have been impacted globally through our Mobile for Development work. We believe this is just the start. Become a GSMA member. Participate in working groups. Make a difference in your business, industry, and society.
What is all this about? Shall we take a look?
Good.
I'm so excited!
The GSMA, in cooperation with 3GPP, has created the Network Equipment Security Assurance Scheme to enhance security levels across the mobile industry. By participating in this scheme, network equipment vendors can demonstrate their ability to meet rigorous security requirements that are globally applicable. With NASAS, equipment vendors' ability to build secure products is assessed and products are security evaluated. Both in combination deliver NASAS's security assurance. Security assessments of product development and lifecycle processes are conducted by world-class security auditing companies, ensuring the highest possible standards. Evaluations of network equipment products are conducted by accredited security test laboratories, making the security posture of network equipment transparent to equipment vendors' customers. The requirements are unified and reflect the security needs of governments, regulators, and network operators, and can streamline the procurement process by reducing the need to retest the security of common network elements. By highlighting the ability of network equipment vendors to achieve and maintain security levels, undertaking security assessments, and performing equipment testing of network equipment products, the GSMA is fostering a security by design culture across the industry, driving security gains and increasing transparency for customers. To find out more, please visit gsma.com/NESAS.
This is Mobile World Live. It is lovely to have you here with us in Barcelona. So we've just seen our first keynote of the year. Really interesting way to start. Let's work through some of those themes. I'm joined by journalist Chris Donkin to get his take on what we've all been watching. Right, first off, actually, do you know what? You were here in June.
Yes,
I've got to say, you know, what's it actually like being back here and being in a full auditorium?
It's really good. It's nice to be a bit closer to people because in June we were really spread out. Yeah. It's good to have the vast majority of the speakers actually in the room. So obviously, all we could do last year was have a lot of people virtual, especially as we, obviously, global event, people from all over the world. We still had the 3 Chinese operators virtually, but everyone else was here in person, which it just makes the interaction seem so much better.
Yeah, and people in the room, sort of the face-to-face interaction and being able to absorb it.
It's amazingly busy as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and they're all sort of streaming out now, or they will be streaming back in for the next keynote. So the first keynote of the day, the opening keynote, the one that sets the tone for the event. What did you think? What were your impressions?
It was very much what I expected, to be honest, which I know is a bit of a layman's, but it is. It's a lot of the issues that the industry's been talking about for the last 2 years, all succinctly put together. What was nice was sometimes you get these keynotes where you have a lot of operators together and they all talk about the same thing, essentially, just from different market angles. Whereas what was very good this time was everyone really went for a different take on it, and a different take on their own specific issues. And I was very relieved to see it wasn't all about the pandemic.
Yeah.
Because my big fear was we were going to get a lot of people coming in saying, it's been a hard year. Obviously, it has been a hard 2 years for everyone, but I think people want to hear about the future, and that's what we got.
Yeah, absolutely. And there are obviously bigger themes at the moment, which are sort of, you know, moving us on from the pandemic very, very, very quickly. But all businesses are looking to how they reshape themselves. Yes. They've all gone through the same experience, albeit in a different way in different parts of the world, but it's reshaping for the future. So what were the key themes of looking forward that you picked up on? What is the industry sort of having at the top of its list?
Well, I think it's the things actually they've been talking about for some time, and things that it's not just the industry, because the industry is, of course, indicative of the whole business. So it's things like sustainability, it's things like building out 5G. So 5G, when we were here in 2019, 5G was just started to be launched everywhere, and people had it, but not very many people had it. Whereas now it's very mainstream in quite a lot of countries, and so a lot of them are looking forward into how to get underconnected populations using it into ways it's being used in industry, ways it's helping things like green energy, enterprise, and also there was a lot about being back and a lot about the other things that are happening in the show. Yeah. We had a lot of people talking about sort of the moves to new sorts of infrastructure, and I guess the main theme from the European operators at least was how they want a greater proportion of the funds to build out the rest of 5G to come from your streaming companies and the businesses that are using it. We've heard this before, but it seems like it's more of a united front and more of a push currently.
Yeah, because it's you know, okay, if you're going to use our infrastructure, let's see the money and how do we work together. I know partnerships has been such a very, very big theme during the pandemic, because there's had to have been. People have had to have worked together, and we've seen different emerging partnerships as well. And is that a theme that was, you know, again, front and center for going forward?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think it always will be. And, you know, even between the operators, if they all go to regulators in Europe or wherever else in the world and say, listen, you're not going to get all these targets met if we haven't got the cash to build it.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to see a lot of that. I mean, this isn't new. We saw this with WhatsApp, you know, and those sort of companies when they started using 4G, but I think 5G is such a...
Well, it's just such a game changer in so many different ways, isn't it? Tell me, was the metaverse mentioned?
You will be very surprised to hear it was only mentioned once that I
Really?
caught.
Who
Maybe I
mentioned
missed them.
it?
I've got a bit of a metaverse radar happening at the moment.
Because
And,
you walk around the show floor and so many stands have got the word metaverse. And
I mean, yeah. So I did the show Daily Show this morning, and I avoided the word metaverse till right at the end. And I was hoping I'd get away with it here as well.
Sorry.
Obviously not.
You know, going back to 2019, another one of those themes of sustainability.
Yes, yeah.
What's been really interesting is that, yes, of course, that was so, you know, it goes without saying how important it is, you know, absolutely. But it wasn't in everyday conversation. You know, it wasn't part of all the decision making in the way that it is now. You know, you go away for like 2 years, you come back and everyone's like, well, sustainability, first.
Yeah, I mean, it's absolutely, that's been the case. I mean, 2 hours doesn't go by in the Mobile World Live office when we don't get an email about a sustainability project one of the operators is doing. I mean, I think if anyone didn't see the whole keynote, I would say the Alton Kirkby Telia one is the best one to watch in terms of sustainability, because it was a great demonstration of all the projects they've been doing with their partners. Just to, you know, it's great actually.
So that's the one that you'd watch back.
I think from a sustainability perspective.
Okay,
yes.
all right. Chris, where are you off to next?
I'm going to write up that keynote.
Brilliant. So you can see it in the show daily tomorrow.
It'll be in the show daily tomorrow, yeah.
Fantastic. I look forward to chatting more about that. Chris Donkin, thank you very much for joining us. This is Mobile World Live. We've got loads more coming up, including another keynote session. We're going to show them all to you as we go through this morning. Stay with us.
Where will you gain unparalleled access to the latest mobile industry data, best practices, and decision makers? Hello, we're the GSMA. We're a member-led organization supporting the global mobile industry to unlock the full power of connectivity so that people, industry, and society thrive. Join as a member and build relationships within the mobile industry. Engineer the future of mobile technology. Participate in industry-leading events. Unlock key intelligence. And collaborate with trusted experts. Participate in global decision-making. For over 30 years, GSMA working groups have driven the evolution of the mobile industry and continue to do so with each new generation of technology and service through 8 permanent working groups, 105 task forces and subgroups, benefiting your organization, transforming the mobile industry. So whatever your business priority and whatever your industry, make the connections that count, including over 15,000 member contacts. And accelerate positive change for your business and the industry through the most influential connectivity community. As of 2021, 100 million lives have been impacted globally through our Mobile for Development work. We believe this is just the start. Become a GSMA member. Participate in working groups. Make a difference in your business, industry, and society.
What is all this about? Shall we take a look?
Good.
I'm
The GSMA, in cooperation with 3GPP, has created the Network Equipment Security Assurance Scheme to enhance security levels across the mobile industry. By participating in this scheme, network equipment vendors can demonstrate their ability to meet rigorous security requirements that are globally applicable. With NASAS, equipment vendors' ability to build secure products is assessed and products are security evaluated. Both in combination deliver NASAS's security assurance. Security assessments of product development and lifecycle processes are conducted by world-class security auditing companies, ensuring the highest possible standards. Evaluations of network equipment products are conducted by accredited security test laboratories, making the security posture of network equipment transparent to equipment vendors' customers. The requirements are unified and reflect the security needs of governments, regulators, and network operators, and can streamline the procurement process by reducing the need to retest the security of common network elements. By highlighting the ability of network equipment vendors to achieve and maintain security levels, undertaking security assessments, and performing equipment testing of network equipment products, the GSMA is fostering a security by design culture across the industry, driving security gains and increasing transparency for customers. To find out more, please visit gsma.com/NESAS.
Visit AWS Village in the upper walkway of the FIRA South entrance. Interact with AWS experts, explore demos, and discover partner solutions. See you there.